Hey Joe, it's everyone here, and obviously if you've been paying attention, AI is really starting to become very advanced. I've been making videos here on my channel talking about how we can use it to generate ideas for names of our stores and logo concepts and designs and product descriptions and even different policies on our store. And that's exactly what I'm going to be demonstrating in this video today. For the video, we're going to be building a wall art brand. I found this really cool study here that talks about the growth within the wall art industry. You can see that in 2022 it was priced at $53 billion. If we scroll down in this article here, you can see they're estimating that over the next 10 years or so, we're going to see a growth to almost $81 billion in sales in the wall art industry. And obviously, as print-on-demand sellers, there are tons of different wall art options out there for us. Like I said, in today's video, I'm going to use AI to build myself a plan for a wall art print-on-demand store. Obviously, here inside of Printify, there's different canvas options and poster options, and even here in the home decor section, there are wall tapestries if that makes sense for your niche, or custom clocks as well. For the sake of this video, we're going to be talking about creating a brand around this product here. It is a print-on-demand metal sign. I actually have a product sample right here that I'll refer to a few times during the video. I also recently uploaded this video here where I interviewed a student of mine who was making up to $70 in profit per sale on her store selling this product. During the video today, like I said, we're going to use AI to help us plan the store, everything from naming it to different policies on the site, and even using AI to generate images that we're going to use to actually get our designs made. And before we get started, I wanted to cover some of the basics about using AI to actually help you with your print-on-demand store. If you already know about AI and you already have a software that you like to use and you just want to jump into the video, you can go to this timestamp here where I actually begin using AI to build out the print-on-demand brand. And for the video today, we're going to be using ChatGPT. If you don't have a ChatGPT account, you can go to chat.openai.com. Simply click the sign up button. From here, you will create an account. ChatGPT is free to use, which is obviously great. In the video today, I'm going to be using some of the premium features that do come with a ChatGPT Plus subscription, but a lot of what I do today will be available for free. You'll simply come here, you'll enter an email address, and then you can create your account and begin using it. And once you have a ChatGPT account, it's very easy to begin asking it different things. I can just say, tell me about print on demand, and I can send this to the ChatGPT bot, and it will begin telling me different things about print on demand. As we go through the video today, we're going to be using this to be able to generate different things for our store. We're actually going to use this to generate design ideas as well. I'll ask it to make me a logo example. I'll also ask it to make me some mock-ups that I'm going to be using on the store once it actually would get built. Obviously, this is all hypothetical though. I'm doing this as a tutorial for you. I'm not actually going to be building a print-on-demand store with what we create today. That would likely require a lot of reworking with ChatGPT to make sure that something that is awesome, that can actually sell really well, is being created. What I'm trying to do is do this for you here on a video without taking 9 hours to make it. Also too, before we jump in, if you need help getting started with print-on-demand, make sure to check out my POD for Dummies course. It's completely free. There's about 30 videos inside, and it will help you to actually build out your print-on-demand store. Obviously, when you're building a print-on-demand store, one of the most important parts is making sure that you have a great niche. For this, I'm going to use ChatGPT for some help. If we come into ChatGPT, I started off telling it what I was looking to do. I asked it to tell me 10 different places that people might hang these signs, so that way I can sort of start to get an understanding of what types of niches I could make designs for. Obviously, if we're doing something in the kitchen, we could do different things with food-related themes, like it says. If we're doing something in a man cave, we could do things about gaming or playing pool or playing cards or something like that. You can see on here it talks about bars and pubs as well. You could do things for drinking and wine and whiskey and things like that. I think for this video, what we're going to do is focus on garages. I think when you're selling metal signs, personalizing them could be a great thing. And I envision this store where we're creating signs with automotive themes and basically a place on there where it says like Joe's Garage or something like that. Here's a store here. It's called Lakeshore Metal Decor. They do a great job at creating lots of different metal signs for lots of different niches. You can see see almost all of them are personalized with someone's last name. What we're going to try to do with our store is we're going to try to almost take it a step further, right? Where instead of just having someone's last name on it, we're actually going to write the word garage as well. That way, when someone's buying it, they have utility with the product. It says their name and then it says garage. So it's a sign that's designed to actually be hung on their garage. And like I said, one of the cool things that AI can do is it can actually generate design ideas for us. The features that we're going to be using are actually a part of ChatGPT Plus, which is a subscription service. Everything else I do in this video, for the most part, is available with the free version. Also, keep in mind the image that ChatGPT is going to make for us is not going to be print ready, which means we're not going to be able to just save it and upload it to our print-on-demand supplier. In this situation, you're likely going to want to try to remake it based on what ChatGPT creates, or even send it to a designer to remake, so that way you can get it in the correct template for your print-on-demand supplier. When you're here on T-Launch, for example, they do have a downloadable template here that you'll be able to use to make your designs. For this is what I said to ChatGPT. I said, I am selling a black metal die-cut wall sign and I need you to design one for me. I said it should have a circular frame, very similar to what we saw on the Lakeshore Metal Decor store. I said at the bottom it needs to have a rectangular bracket with the text Joe's Garage on it. I then said, because we're going for this garage theme, to include a muscle car as the focal image. I said it's going to appear somewhat decorative since this is going to be hung on the wall in someone's garage. I then also told it that the sign is going to be cut from one sheet of metal, so that means the elements in the design needs to be cut out so that way they can be seen. What I meant there was this sign doesn't actually get printed on, so we want to make sure that ChatGPT knows that any elements that are going to be seen by the customer or people on our store need to actually be cut out of the design so that way they can actually be visible. And here is what ChatGPT came up with. You can see there's a little bit of an issue with the text there. That is to be expected. ChatGPT is not good at text yet, but what we have here is a very solid base. If I was creating this for real, I would be able to send something like this to the designer with a few minor tweaks and have a really cool design on my hands. One of the things that they've done that I absolutely love is how they turn that circular bracket into what looks like a speedometer. I could even have my designer put a little bit less lines in there for different miles per hour marks and ultimately have a really cool concept that someone could hang on their wall. Obviously here too, like I said, we have some spelling errors with the word garage, also with the text there. What you'd probably want to do, if I was actually creating this for real, I would likely end up finding a stencil font that I wanted to use and sending that along to the designer with this reference image. If I was launching this store for real, I'd probably try to come up with a few different concepts, maybe a design for a boat or a four-wheeler or even a motorcycle. Just for fun, I actually did have it make me a motorcycle here. I don't think it's as nice as the one that we made for the car, but obviously we could continue playing with this and try to get something better. Right here is another one that it made for a dirt bike. I don't really love this one. I probably would just delete this chat and try again with a different prompt. This one here I think is really neat. There's incredible detail in this sign as well. Great picture of a pickup truck on there too. Obviously they have the text, the name Joe in two different spots, so I'd have to kind of figure out something to do there. Maybe in the middle where it says Joe kind of, I could put like a date there, right? So the top says Joe's, then the bottom says garage, and then in the middle I could write like established 2019 or something like that if that was the year that the person moved into their house or built their garage or something like that. It also made this one here, which I think is a little bit weird because it put some text on there that I didn't ask for, but in any event, again, we could turn that text into some sort of a year, a location, or something like that. I also think this one is kind of nice too. It's for a boat, obviously. We have a boat at the top. What I love about this design is the net at the bottom. I think that's such a unique way to actually create something at the bottom of the sign. The whole entire thing as well, the circle is kind of shaped like a boat steering wheel, which I think is a nice touch. And ultimately, like I said, if I was actually doing this for real, we have some pretty solid design concepts on our hands, completely made by ChatGPT. The next step here would be to recreate them on our own using some of the unique ideas that ChatGPT came up with, or if you were using a designer, you could send it off to them to remake it. Earlier, I did show you a sample of one of these signs. I'm not going to review it in this video. I've made full reviews on this product here on my channel before, so make sure to check those out if you wanted to see this product a little bit more closely. Obviously, our next step here too is thinking of a name for our store. ChatGPT is going to be perfect for this. I basically said to it, can you suggest me some name ideas that I would like the name to be 2 to 3 words maximum, and I'm hoping for something that has a universal fit for all the themes we've discussed, basically referring to the fact that I've discussed with ChatGPT already that this is going to be a store catering to niches like car lovers, boat lovers, motorcycle enthusiasts, and things like that. You can see here that as we scroll down, we have a few different options that ChatGPT has come up with. I then told it to do it again. I said, try to make them edgy in my prompt, and then it gave me 15 more as well. Obviously, you could repeat this over and over again. You could tell it to do different things. Ultimately, I think this Rusty Rebels name sounds pretty cool. It has a double R sound. Ultimately, I think it's edgy, and I think it could be a cool name for a store. ChatGPT is also useful to actually have a logo concept made. I told it to try and create me a logo with a solid white background and then just the logo. I then said I want it to be a horizontal logo. Sometimes if you have a logo that's like too tall, it could look a little chunky on your store. So I think making it a rectangle is a nice touch. And if I scroll down, you can see what it actually came up with. The name of the store is Rusty Rebels. Obviously, if I was getting this done by a designer or making it myself, I could take these concepts that it has here, I could make sure the text is accurate, and I would have myself a pretty good start on a concept for a logo. And obviously the next part would be getting ourselves a domain name. Here I am on get.store. I'm going to type in Rusty Rebels and see if that one is available here on get.store. And you can see that that one is available. RustyRebel.store sounds like an incredible name for us for the store. .store domain names are really just getting incredibly popular lately. A recent study that I saw shows that stores with a .store domain enjoy more traffic, lower cost per conversion, and double the visibility on search engines. It found that websites on a .store domain also get 87% more traffic and a 12% lower cost per conversion on their ads. It's also something that will tell the person seeing it that they can in fact buy things from you. It basically calls out the fact that you are a store, you're a website that's selling things. And like I said, this is getting quite popular. Over 1 million people have made the switch to .store domains. They also don't cost a whole heck of a lot more than a regular domain. You can see here that for 1 year we can get this for $29. This is on the get.store page. I will put a link down below to this if you wanted to see it. But obviously if you're using another domain provider, you could get a .store domain from them as well. You can see here on their homepage they talk about this study that kind of goes through some of the things that I just talked about. The point is, if you're building a store, you might as well use a domain name that really calls that out. One important figure, Mr. Beast here, he recently changed his domain to a .store, and there's tons of other really popular people like Michelle Obama or Shakira. Even the Emirates Airlines uses a .store domain. And like I said, that recent year-long study showed that websites that were on a .store domain enjoyed a lot of really cool perks. You can see some of them on the screen right here. Like I said, I will put a link down in the description as well as the pinned comment to go to this website here where you can get a .store domain. Obviously, if you're using a different provider for domains, they would have .store as well. Once we have designs and also once we have our name and our domains and all of that, we want to start thinking about how we're presenting this to our customers on our actual store. One thing that actually drives a lot of purchases on a store is product images. And that's another thing that we can actually use AI to help us with. Here inside of the T-Launch app, we don't see any images that are showing the metal signs on an actual garage, which means if we're creating a store where that's the theme here, these mockups aren't really going to work for us. One of the things that I sometimes use ChatGPT for is actually creating mockups so that way I can actually make something much better on my store. What I have here inside of ChatGPT is a prompt that I sent it where I said, can you make me a 4K image taken with a Canon camera and a high quality zoom lens showing the front of a 2-car garage? I went into detail about the camera because I wanted this to be a real looking image. I didn't want this to be a typical like cartoon version of an AI image. I wanted it to look real. I then wrote that it should have 2 garage doors. The scene should be an actual garage with part of the driveway visible, the yard, etc. I said make the garage white and leave a gap between each of the garage doors. Make this image sort of a close-up. I'll be using it as a mock-up for my metal sign products that I sell. And I need to be able to use your image to add my sign to afterwards. So it needs to be a straight-on view of the garage and semi-close to it. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm asking ChatGPT to create me an image of a garage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my design files that I have and I'm going to put them on the garage. And it's going to look like the garage actually has one of my signs on it. If we go back into ChatGPT here, you can see that it did in fact do a great job. This image here is something I could definitely save. I could definitely take the black PNG file of my sign and I could put it right on the top of that garage underneath that little vent that's on the roof line. Something like this on my store could be a great way to be able to create a banner or something like that. I could also ask ChatGPT to create me a few more variants of something just like this. I could create all of my product images just like this here, and it would be a really nice way to showcase my signs. Obviously, depending on the products that you're creating, something like this might not actually apply, but it's always good to think about in case you are selling something that you could use ChatGPT to create you a base mockup for. There's also some really advanced tutorials out there on how you can use AI to actually generate you images like leggings or other types of apparel like t-shirts and hoodies to be able to create your own mockups with as well. Next up with our brand here is going to be actually writing some of the sales copy for the website. Obviously, a product description is super important when it comes to building a print-on-demand store that seems legitimate and is credible for your niche. You can see here inside of the T-Launch app, they do give us this description here, but what if we could give this to ChatGPT to make it better? And that's exactly what I did here. I basically came into ChatGPT and I told it a little bit about what I'm doing. I said that I'm selling metal signs for people to hang in their garage, people that like muscle cars, motorcycles, boats, and trucks. I basically said that I need you to take a description and rewrite it for me so that way I can sort of fit my brand persona a little bit better. ChatGPT said, rev up your space with an epic metal sign, perfect for the garage of a true muscle car, motorcycle, boat, or truck aficionado. It's crafted from robust 18-gauge steel and available in a selection of 5 bold, powder-coated hues. This sign is engineered to endure, whether it's braving the elements or adding a spark to your indoor sanctuary. Flaunt your passion for power and performance with this durable, stylish emblem of your enthusiast spirit, an ideal addition to any part of your home, inside or out. Now, obviously, that's not bad. I don't love it. I think sometimes ChatGPT gets a little bit wordy. I don't love the indoor sanctuary. I don't like flaunt your passion. I don't like the emblem of your enthusiast spirit. So I wrote back and I just said, write it again, but this time keep it casual and make sure to use some niche relevant puns when you come up with a new description. And this is what it said. It says,
gear up your garage with our kickstart-worthy metal sign tailor-made for muscle car, motorcycle, boat, and truck enthusiasts. This isn't your average decor piece. It's a high-octane, 18-gauge steel masterpiece powder-coated in a lineup of 5 slick colors built to last longer than a cross-country road trip. It's the perfect way to fuel your passion indoors or out. So park this sign in your space and show off your love for all things with engines and attitude. It's not just decor, it's a statement as bold as a burnout at a car meet.
And obviously, if there was specific words inside of the description that ChatGPT came up with, you could obviously say, don't use that word and rewrite it again. And you could continuously go through that in order to get something that is truly awesome for your store. In addition to product descriptions, you could also do this to write really catchy refund policies on your store where you're talking about a satisfaction guarantee. You could ask it for unique names for your satisfaction guarantee as well. You could also do this for brand statements or other just pieces of copy on your site. You could also ask ChatGPT to make you unique names for different discount codes that are relevant to your niche. And you could really go a long way by creating some unique text for your store that will ultimately help you to build a better brand. Every time I build a print-on-demand store, I make sure to use niche-specific words on it so that way they feel like I am a credible source to actually buy products from. In addition to some of those things, obviously you could use ChatGPT to generate you different social media posts. You could describe the image that you're posting on social media and you could tell it to come up with a 140 character post for you to use on an Instagram post or something like that. And the reason I said 140 characters is because that is what Twitter used to have as a limit. I think it's a good length. Either way though, like I said, we've done a lot today with ChatGPT. Obviously, this is not going to be something that's just going to run completely on autopilot. You're using ChatGPT to help you in the process, right? We basically asked ChatGPT what a good niche for this could be. It gave us a whole bunch of suggestions in the beginning. We ended up picking garage as our option. We then used it to come up with a name, a logo idea. We searched for a .store domain. We then made some design ideas, and then we also used ChatGPT for our product descriptions. You could also do lots more that I probably didn't talk about here in this video. And if you want to see me do this again with a different product or a different niche, let me know down in the comments below. Like I said at the beginning, if you do need help getting started with your print-on-demand store, I do have a free print-on-demand course. It's called Print on Demand for Dummies. It has about 30 videos inside of it that will detail the process to actually build out a print-on-demand store. Everything from choosing products to installing different print-on-demand suppliers to actually building out the Shopify store and creating your social media profile so that way you can start selling. So either way, let me know how you thought of this video and I will see you in the next one.